Welcome back, Shite Talking, episode 19. We are one episode away from season 2. Today we've got an interesting guest on. Went from joining the army to now basically OnlyFans. Welcome, Harry.
Welcome in, guys. Harry here. I've officially left the army to do OnlyFans full time and will share my story with you guys.
Perfect. Let's go straight into it. So I've got something to say. 87.7% of you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now. Thank you. You better do it. Let's get into the podcast. So let's go back to when you wanted to join the army. How old was you?
I joined at 16 years old. I went to college for 5 months and then it just wasn't for me. So I just decided to leave and take on the career of being a soldier.
How long does it take to actually be a soldier?
I joined basic training on September the 11th, 2022. And it took 6 months to become a soldier. Then you go into a stage called phase 2. And then you just keep going on. And then, I basically went to a frontline unit in Watsham. Yeah.
How long was you in the army for?
I've been in the army since 2022 and 2025 now. I left last week. So about 3 years, something like that. Yeah, no, it's been good.
So obviously you left to pursue something which we'll go on to in a minute, but did you actually enjoy the army? Was it something that did you wake up knowing, I'm in the army, this is pretty sick?
So when I did join, I was all for the army. I really enjoyed it. I was proper green. I loved getting outdoors. I loved shooting the rifles. But then it just came to a time it just wasn't for me anymore. Obviously I did social media. I started seeing following go up. I started seeing more views. And I just realised, is this the job I want to be in? It pays £1,700 a month. And then moving to a different career.
Oh, the army paid you?
Yeah, the army pay
nice.
you. It's around £1,700 a month at the stage I was at. And just wasn't for me anymore. I lost interest, lost the motivation for the job. And pretty much I just took on OnlyFans. But it wasn't just me starting OnlyFans. It was my fans told me to do it.
Yeah.
I never woke up one morning and was let's start doing OnlyFans. It just kind of happened, and that's the biggest thing, really.
Your mum, your dad, I don't know who you live with, but were they acceptance that you were going to go to the army? Because you know what I mean, it's a scary thing. You're getting deployed.
Yeah,
fight for your country.
Obviously I was quite young when I joined the army. My mum was always like, you sure you want to go? Do you not want to go college or uni or something like that?
Yeah.
But it got to it was my choice, really. I was a bit nervous at the start. Obviously, it's quite a big thing to take on. It's not a job, it's a lifestyle at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So my parents were pretty HAXZY, you sure you want to be doing this? It's scary out there. But being myself, I was let's do it. I want a challenge. I like a good challenge. And for me personally, I think it's done a lot of benefits, the motivation I've got now, the dedication, looking after myself, just general clean tidiness. I've got a routine as well. Most people my age and that, I feel the army would benefit a lot of people in that sort of aspect to be a better
100%.
person.
Do you think the army changed you, and do you do things day to day now that the army's taught you to do?
Yeah, I would say 100%. I wake up in the morning, I already know what I'm going to do. I always eat breakfast to kickstart the day.
Yeah.
I'm do a lot of fitness. I'm a good runner. Obviously, I'm going to get bolo for summer in it. I'll be final boss sort of mode. But it has taught me a lot of skills. What I still maintain now, just general skills, even respecting other people. You've got the sea drills, courage, discipline, respect for others, integrity.
And this is all that you learned from the army. So let's say, I don't know, you put yourself in a position where you was deployed.
Yeah.
Was you scared that you were knowing that you were going out potentially, I don't know, because obviously I don't really know. Was you fighting for England? Was you fighting to take people out terrorists? What was the main objective?
Yeah, so obviously when I did join and what I've got up to now, there's the Russia and Ukraine stuff going on. And that was on my head a bit, seeing the news. It was potentially going out and all this. So we got put on an R1 threat. So you've got 24 hours to prepare to move. So if you get a call, whatever you're doing throughout the night or in the day, you'd have to pack your bags and go. My mum was always Harry's starting to get me a little bit nervous now. It takes one person to click the red button and you're gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, luckily I'd never went to fight. I think that'd be quite disastrous.
Yeah, I think if you were to fight for the Russian Ukraine, that'd be a World War III because England aren't really involved. So
yeah, no, it would be bad.
Yeah, imagine that, just knowing that you're being deployed for like basically the end of the world.
Were you
Crazy.
scared?
I
that-
was,
that
to be
you'd ever
honest,
have to go?
but I always like had in my head like I've done all this training for what? Like you've
Yeah.
got to do something. Do you know what I mean? And I was quite almost excited, but not,
Yeah,
because I had some nice kit. I wanted to go out and just see what I could actually do with my ability. But
Did you ever use your ability? Like, I don't know if you call it like the front line. Did you ever actually like? Did you need to do something to save your life and save your others?
not anything front line, but like I've helped out a lot of mates, even like in the field when we get put on exercise and that. You're in like pretty cold conditions. So when I joined 2 years ago, well, 2, 3 years ago, when I was going through a stage, we got sent off to top of Scotland, a place called Otterburn, where it's like Newcastle, Scotland way. And it was -10 when I was 17 years old.
Wow.
And we were basically just living outside for a week, freezing cold conditions. I was waking up and it was like my water bottle was frozen. And it's all about working together as a team to basically like just keep getting through the day, just keep working forward. But no, I've been in some hard conditions.
Yeah. So it's taught you a lot, not just physically but mentally as well.
Oh yeah, I think with the army, it's more of a mental game than actual physical.
Mm.
Obviously, I'm not bolo in it, but my head is like pretty strong compared to a lot of lads. So even like some massive lads in the army, like they all struggle a lot more because their head's just a lot weaker.
But to be fair, you don't really in the army though. You get taught how to like defend yourself and fight.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to be wham to be able to defend yourself, because I bet you've got some moves that no one else knows you've
Yeah,
got.
no, not at all. Like I do know some good skills, but yeah, you don't actually need to be wham to take someone out. Remember that, boys.
What was your diet like in the army?
Diet. So I used to be eating a lot of army food. So like set routines, like morning, lunch, dinner, you'd have with the army. But then as you go through your training, you kind of like you go to a place called unit. So it's like
Yeah.
you're more yourself. Like you go to work with the army, you come back, you're in your room, and you go like that. You've got a scoff house. That's what we call it. It's basically like dining. You can choose to go to lunch,
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, dinner. But at the camp I was at Watcham Airfield, they basically have a rat infestation. As soon as I got there, so I was like, I'm not going to eat there. So I used to buy my own meals and cook up each day myself. But some lads eat in there, some lads don't. But just me personally, I wouldn't want to eat in there because I know it's not the most hygienic, and also the food's very cheap in the army. They'll give you the basics, like
Rice and beans type thing.
yeah, like bit of chicken, rice, beans. It's very substantial food. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to enjoy it.
Well, I
really.
think the army they're giving you that type of food because if you're in World War III, you can't just go down and nip and get Nando's.
Yeah, I
Do you know
guess
what I
that
mean?
could be. I guess that could be a point, but
So
it's better than rations, though, isn't it? So,
yeah, 1 week ago you left the army,
yeah. So I left last Friday. That's when I
and
left.
why did you leave? Like, what was the reason? Did you want to leave? Did you get kicked out?
So this is sticky. So it was a massive, long process. And obviously my fans told me to do OnlyFans, and it got to the point like I just started it. And for me, I was very lucky because I had a fan base.
Mm.
So I basically had something to fall back on. And it got to the point like just I had this flow of income coming in. I was just like, I need to do this more. So I was coming into work every day in the army. I'd come back into my room, boom, start doing content in my room. And I used to do this thing on live called Stuck in Sag. I don't know if you guys know already.
No.
But I'd basically go on TikTok live and just like stand there with like my trousers half down, sagging on live.
just-
And that basically generated like a massive flow of subs. And obviously TikTok live's like geolocated. So people around the camp were seeing this TikTok live.
Yeah.
I had about 3,000 people at one time watching this live, and about 200 of them were from the army camp. And one time I was live, and I was just like doing my Stuck in Sag, and I had like 3 lads come up to my window, started knocking on it, and they showed their phone around, and it was me sagging.
Oh wait, so that room that you was doing that all in, that was like your army room.
That was my military room.
Oh shit! I thought. Oh my days! So
Yeah.
they literally knocked on your door and like shown you what you was doing.
Yeah, so I had like most days in the week when I'd be going live with a lot of people on there, people would knock on my door, on my window, and just like show me my life, and I'll be like, what do you want me to do? Like,
Yeah.
cheers for watching, I guess. Like, it got to the point, yeah, everyone basically found out on camp, and then
Was everyone just ratting out to like what do you call the
sergeants?
the
and all
sergeants,
that.
were they?
Yeah, to be fair, a lot of lads were like, yeah, your game is funny, like you're funny. Like,
Yeah.
not a lot of lads have the sort of the
Balls,
confidence
yeah.
and like to do this type of stuff. But yeah, a lot of older people, I'd say, who've been in the army like 25 years old, they'd look at me and being like, "You're not part of this generation," and all this, like, very hateful towards it. 'Cause obviously, they could have been to war and all this type of stuff.
No, to be fair, 25 years. That's
Yeah, that's a long
that's
run.
not, they grew up when technology wasn't even around.
Yeah, so they weren't the best about it, but now I think it's hilarious. But my sergeant, he was very respectful to me about it. He was like, "You've got a massive career ahead of you. You're doing so well. If I was you, I'd just stick at it. Like, not everyone can do what you're doing."
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So yeah, I took it on the chin, and later on down the line, it got to the point where I had a journalist contact me about the situation with what's gone on. And pretty much if I accepted it to go on the press while I was in the army, I'll be put in Colchester prison.
Say that again.
So as I was doing my TikTok lives and that, getting
Yeah.
all my subs for OnlyFans, if I accepted the press to go on the press about British Army soldier doing OnlyFans in his room, if I accepted it while I was in the military, I'll be put in Colchester prison because it puts the army in disrepute. So I had to play the game so smart. I was literally like smashing out OF live in my room. Then I'd go to work the next day, just pray no one says anything. Then I was just, it's like a ticking time bomb till I was out. But if I did anything.
So as soon as you got that alert that you might be going to prison, was you like, okay, I need to leave the army?
I was like, yeah, let's wind it down a bit.
Yeah.
I need to leave the army ASAP.
And you can't just leave like that. You can't just
you
pack
can't.
your door. Like, yeah.
It's a long process because the military have got a 4-year contract. That starts when you're 18 years old. And you have to serve 4 years unless you do a madness like I've just done.
Oh, so technically you got kicked out, but it was also your choice. Like you spoke to the sergeant and was like, look, I can't do it.
So doing OnlyFans is wrong in the army. Like,
Yeah, of course,
you get a lot of hate for it. You're putting the army in disrepute, especially if you're doing stuff in kit. So any lads out here who are going to start, I would advise don't wear any kit with any flashes or anything like that.
Oh, okay. So what, is that something that you did? Like, for example, on your OF, have you got pictures of you with your suit on?
I do have some pictures with my kit on, yeah.
Oh,
I played the game.
You know, going to prison over that, like, that's mad. What did your mum think, like, when you was doing that?
You know what? The whole, like... So my parents were really proud that I managed to make it into the army. Like, they always thought, like, I was that son would kind of just, like, stay away from that. But no, I pulled out the bag. Obviously, she's very proud. My mum and dad are very proud that I went and served for the country. But when I told her like I was doing OF, because I was just coming back, like I wouldn't see my family for like 5-6 months. I'd come home and they'd be like, "Where did you got this from?" or "Where have you got that from?" I'd come home with a new car, and she was like, "Well, whatever you're doing, stick at it. I'm proud of you." But it's only until I told her that I was an OnlyFans model. She was a bit like, "Yeah," but she's got 3 boys, including me. So like, she doesn't really care because we're her sons. She thinks it's quite funny, to be honest. Like, and my dad's fully like, yeah, I think that's quality. So I've got pretty lucky. My parents just like respecting what I do.
Yeah, accepting it. Yeah. If you wasn't doing OnlyFans, would you continue with your army? Yeah. I was thinking, obviously, the amount that you're making now is little compared to what the army was paying you. So, like, would you have carried on with the army?
You know what? I think I would, because I met a lot of good lads in the army, and that was the hardest thing to like leave behind, because obviously in the army you build a bond with like your mates really quick. You cook, you eat with them, you go out on exercise with them, like you look after each other, like you're a pack, like a family.
You're a team, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. So leaving the army, like for that was the hardest thing. Like I've got a few mates, say like Adam, he's like one of my good mates from army, but I've kept in contact with him. I won't leave him, but that was the hardest thing for me. But would I keep doing the army if I didn't do OnlyFans? Probably would stay in.
I think it's mad when you say that you're like serving for your country, because it literally is that. And I just think if you were to, like, when you get deployed, was you like flying to different countries, or was it just mainly England?
Yeah, so where I joined, it was a bit like there wasn't a lot going on. Like obviously back in the days, there was like Afghan, there was like Op Herrick, all that type of stuff. But now it's more like sort of Poland and like, European countries we go to. But yeah. No,
have you ever, if you could say something about the army which other people don't know, what would that be? Obviously not too mad.
So the guns that we use now is SA-80A2, but the guns aren't the best. But each time you shoot them, you've got to do a lot of cleaning of them, of like the carbon and that. But I don't know, hidden things. Every camp's different, I guess. On my camp, it was attack aviation, so you're dealing with like one of the most aggressive helicopters like in the world.
What, that come in to like target you?
No, that we were based with them, so I worked with the attack aviation, so the Apache.
wow.
So it's like a mad helicopter.
Oh.
But
Obviously-
on the press, that will be the picture with me with the helicopter, so you lot can see that.
Fucking hell. All right, let's go. So yeah, let's carry on with your OnlyFans. So when you started, did you expect it to go as big as it has now?
Never thought it'd go this big.
Yeah.
Within my first month, I got over 700 subs. I made top 1%, and that was like, yeah, I was lost for words. I looked after myself well though. First sort of 6 months with doing OnlyFans, I trapped myself. I was like, give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah.
So I bought some nice things. But now I'm just using OnlyFans as like a proper job now, like taking it more seriously, not going out spending it on stupid things and starting to like invest it and stuff. But yeah, I think as long as you're doing OnlyFans, you're smart with your money. That's the best way to go. But a lot of creators get a lot of cash, and they just
Spend it straight away. Yeah.
Spend
Waste
it
it
all. Do you think a lot of people that do OnlyFans do it for like a couple months, make the money and dip?
yeah, 100%.
Do you think that's something that was like, yeah, it's a good idea because you might not want it out there, but I feel like once it's out there forever.
Literally. Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I think I'm gonna do OnlyFans for another like sort of year and a half.
oh, so you don't even want to do it for like?
I won't do it for the rest of my life. No.
Oh, okay. So like, not even 5 more years.
I just feel like it's too long. I want to like forget about the OnlyFans later on and then
Yeah.
just get into property or something. But no, it's been really good.
So you don't regret doing OnlyFans. Like obviously, whatever you've put out there could be the maddest things. You never go to bed thinking, okay, something might get leaked. Is that going to affect me mentally? Or have you just accepted the fact, look, I'm going to do it. The money's there, so I don't really care what people say about it. I don't really care. It's been leaked.
You know what? I don't really care. Like the most I get at the moment is just like insecure men and women coming at me being like, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Like, you're just selling yourself and all this. I'm like, we live in 2025. Like, it's not that bad. I'm sure, like, most of the people saying these comments have something of their own leaks, like, back in the day. Like,
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Like when I found out about it, yeah, and I knew that OnlyFans was a thing, I was just more the fact that, like, if I do this, yeah, I'm thinking, if anything gets leaked, then I feel like I will just mentally break down. I think I just couldn't handle with that. I think there's a level of like, if I'm putting a picture up there for someone to buy, it just doesn't, like, in my head, it doesn't seem right. Like, I don't think it's not a wrong thing. Like, I'm not saying you're a bad person, your morals are bad, you're not selling yourself, because I think that's a bit too far. But I just think it's OnlyFans is you're doing it if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Basically.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like with OnlyFans though, you've got it's either you go all in,
Yeah.
or you don't
to
go
actually
in at
make
all.
it.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
It's
yeah.
the people that like go in between, so they don't make a lot of money, but they've just like sold their whole snatch and their soul away. I think that's the worst. Like if you're doing OnlyFans, you're making $1,000 a month,
Yeah.
and you're
nah.
showing everything. Like I think you're a bit
that's-
cooked.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
'cause you
literally
could-
cooked.
So I think some people say that OnlyFans is like could be their last option as well. Because obviously, if it was my last option, yeah, I'd do it. But I wouldn't do it because, for example, like you said, like making $1,000 a month, that's below minimum wage.
Yeah.
So if you're
that's
making
bad.
$1,000 a month off OnlyFans, you're really only doing OnlyFans because it's like the easy route. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
That's the thing. A lot of people interpret me.
Yeah,
Is that the
yeah.
right word? They
Misinterpretation.
think like, oh, you're just taking the easy option, like it was your last thing. But no, like I have actually done a real job, and I've just accepted the fact that the real job is not for me, and I'll put my hands down. Like the easy option, I only
was
work
not your.
like an
And
hour and
I'll
a
be
half
honest.
a day.
This is why we wanted you on the podcast because I think it's amazing, yeah, that you've gone from. I know it sounds mad that you've gone from army to OnlyFans, but you've actually been. That's not a real job. You've had like a life or death type job.
Yeah, that's more.
Do you know what I mean? That's more than a real job. You haven't gone and stacked shelves at Sainsbury's. You put your life out on the line for England.
I know it's been a bit mad, but the thing is, I'm glad I'm on this podcast as well because no one knows I've been in the army.
Yeah.
Even off TikTok, Instagram, I haven't told a single person. It's just been like a few gossip. Oh, it's HAXZY in the army. Like, I am gonna tell you now, I have been in the army the whole time on social media, and no one does know.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you hid it.
Yeah.
Why did you hide it? Oh, was it because of the whole like?
Yeah, there's a few things because like a lot of army lads are very sort of like manly mindseted. Like, oh, if you do social media, you're a batty man or something like that. But they've got this sort of stereotype, like they're all tough and that. So I just like I don't want any drama. I'll just get on my own thing, and then hopefully it all works out for me. And luckily, I've seen the light through the tunnel, and I'm on the run. But yeah.
And how much did you make when you first started OnlyFans?
So my first month, I nearly made £30,000 in my first month.
First month of doing
Yeah.
it, and that's mad because I don't think a lot of people when they start they don't get anywhere near that.
Yeah, so the thing with me, I kind of like built up my fans to the point like they was waiting for me to drop it.
Oh, okay. So
I didn't
Yeah,
just
traction,
like
yeah.
drop it out of nowhere. I did wait up. Like I'm on Twitter, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, and I just waited for the right time to build it up. Then I dropped it, and I create this sort of like tension. People are missing out by it. But yeah, for me to get all my subs in was definitely TikTok Live. I got the most hate in about a month to the point I was like, yeah, I need to get out of the country.
oh shit.
But yeah, no, it's been really good. I bought myself a new car. I've got a nice car now. I just took general care of myself. I hit 4 sunbeds a week.
Do your teeth look like they're from?
Yeah, I got my teeth done. I'm just happy. That's
And
all
I think
can
that's the
say.
main thing. As long as you're happy, and
Yeah, that's all that
I agree
matters.
with like, don't care what other people think. People
Yeah.
hate on the pod, people hate on OnlyFans, people hate on loads of different stuff. But as long as you're happy and you know that you're doing everything right and you're doing the hardest you can, bro, just go for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I say to anyone. I'd help out anyone to do well. And for me, I'd say I'm happy. Like I've never sit down at home and just like head in my hands, being like, I need a job or I need to do this, that, and the other. I'm like, I'd say I'm a happy fella. I'm not really that sad.
Yeah, and that's good. Do you think you've got a mental? And what I mean by that is, do you think you get mentally affected by negative comments or like hate?
To be fair, like the most hate I get is like you're gay or fucking you look like an orange or you've got a gum shield in your mouth. Like,
Gum shield.
do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not too arsed. Like
Yeah.
most of these people who's commenting these sort of
Want
like,
what you've got. That's probably what it
yeah,
is. Yeah.
most of it's jealousy. Most of it's just like insecure people behind a phone. And for me, like, I just rise above it. Like, there's more to life than hating on someone.
Do you know what it is as well? It's like you're 19, and
Yeah.
and I think that's what's mad as well. Like a lot of people, like what you've got is probably like in their mid-20s. You're 19. You've got the teeth. You've got the tan. Like that's what people want,
Yeah, it probably is a bit of that. I
and
mean,
you've done it early.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously with your OnlyFans money, you've obviously got your car now. You've
Yeah.
got your teeth done. Some beds, obviously. What's
Holidays.
next? Holidays.
Clothes. I don't know, just like taking birds out on dates, like that gets spenny as well. Know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um,
Does get spenny.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just right now. I'm in a good place, and I do feel like the age is a bit like a lot of people look at me think I'm a lot older because of like what I've done. But my most comment I get is "Daddy's money," and I try and tell people all the time. It's just like my dad's a grafter. Like he doesn't sit there and give me cash. Like
Yeah.
I work a lot. Like I'm non-stop working. Like
Do you do other things on the side except from OnlyFans? Like
I
you've
used to do Amazon liquidation.
Oh yeah.
So I basically used to teach people how to sell products online using Amazon. I did that for just under a year. I had 400 clients, and it got to the point I was doing it all by myself, so I couldn't really do it anymore. But yeah, it's been really good business-wise. But now my sole focus is just pumping OF.
Pumping OF, and obviously, so you don't want to go into any. Like, are you that type of person that if someone comes with you with an idea, if it's good, would you go into it? Would you invest? Like, would you start up another business?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I would do some more stuff as well.
Yeah.
So obviously now I'm out the army. Before I was doing the army and OF.
You didn't really have the time. Yeah.
So the time was literally like boom, boom, boom. But now I'm doing OF all the time, and most of my OF stuff's like in the evening.
Yeah.
So I'll be happily do like a job as well, not an actual job, but like start a new business up and then hopefully get that going. But yeah, I'm in a good place and just want to keep going forward.
Yeah, that's good. Be happy. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So, friends or family that obviously need advice on how to start OnlyFans or whether to start, what would you say to someone? Because there might be people watching that, I don't know, might be insecure, that they don't want to start OnlyFans. They might be worried that their stuff might get leaked. What would you say to them?
To start off with, definitely get on social media, get on TikTok, get on Instagram. Do reels on Instagram is the best way to grow an Instagram account.
Your reels are quite funny.
Yeah, I've been doing reels. I post 1 to 2 times a day on Instagram. That grew my account up pretty quick. Do not drop your OnlyFans before you've got a fan base. Make sure you've got your fan base to cover your back, because the last thing you want is to sell everything, sell your soul away, and you're only making £500 a month. Like, you've got to make sure you've got something to bounce back on. Even a fan base, if it's not for OnlyFans, you've still got a social media presence, do you know what I mean? But yeah, basically just start doing TikTok, start doing Instagram, keep it that way, then hopefully you take off and then you'll be the next star, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you are top, are you top 0% or are you top?
No,
top
top
1%?
1%.
Top
I
1%.
did top 1% in a month.
In a month, so you're now still top 1%.
Yeah, still top 1%. But now I've left the army, I reckon I could get even lower because I'm putting everything in it. It's just a graph, really. But
Isn't the percentages to do with how much you're making?
yeah, how many subs, how much you're making, just general across the border. Like, how you doing?
Because obviously I saw this documentary that Olivia Atwood came out with on ITV, and it was mad knowing that there's so many categories to, like, obviously I think she named it like the adult industry, like you can call it that, and like there's what was it called, gilfs, like grannies that are doing it now. Like I think that's mad.
It is mad. It's literally OnlyFans is just like for everyone now. Like
it's definitely more like involved into this world than it used to be, because I think a lot of brands and sponsors now are accepting the fact that, look, our clients might be doing OnlyFans, and it's becoming like a normal thing. Because I actually searched up on Google the other day, is like adult work where someone's paying you to do adult work allowed, and it says that England is like it's legal to do it, like prostitution. Like I would think that's illegal. That's legal apparently.
It is mad world, but I reckon soon like everything's just going to be online. Like
AI.
How it's going now, but it's quite scary because if AI is coming in place, what's the point of OnlyFans? Well, you don't need.
Well, this is what we had someone on the pod who actually said this, that
AI models.
Yeah, there's an AI model that's making like 250 grand a month just off AI.
They're doing that with OnlyFans models. You can do AI for OnlyFans. So the supposedly person of say me, it wouldn't even be me. It'd be some cartoon thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like a man or woman sitting behind the screen, literally just
mad, innit?
Doing it. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just like it's a new world.
So, growing up, what was your childhood like?
You know what? My childhood life was pretty good. I got pretty lucky. Like my dad's obviously used to be a big labourer, but I've always loved animals. I used to have 3 alpacas, 2 goats, and now I've got two pigs, Reggie and Stan.
2 pigs in your house? What, do they just live in your house, or do they live outside?
So you know what? Like I've always wanted a pig, and then it came over lockdown, and obviously everyone was bored. You're locked up, like you couldn't do anything. So I was like, Dad, can I get 2 pigs? He was like, yeah, let's go. So I trucked him. Me and my dad went in the truck, went to the local farm, and I picked up these 2 pigs, hopped in, but they only managed to stay indoors for about 3 weeks to a month before they got too big. Now he's weighing in about 170 kilograms. He's a unit.
Oh my days.
Yeah, big
so
boys.
Is it a myth, that do pigs eat bacon?
You know what? They would eat bacon. They'd eat anything. Like they say, like you could do something to someone and feed it to them. Know what I mean? Like they would eat anything. But I have fed my pig bacon before, and like
did it not feel right?
It felt wrong.
Yeah.
But like you just don't care. Like
what's your pig's names then?
Reggie and Stan. Reggie's mine when he's a big boy.
Reggie. I think
yeah,
I've seen.
big
Have you shown
Reg.
your pig on live before?
Yeah, I think I used to show him on live.
When he was small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was small, he was literally about this big.
Yeah.
What? And would it just live in your room?
No, he'd live downstairs in like the kitchen area. He'd just go around. Oh, mate, he was bare cute, but I loved him. But yeah,
does that not annoy you though, that they just go around going like just keep
nah, like,
snoring?
I think it's cute when pigs squeal, but each time you pick him up, he'd literally sounds like he's getting like hurt. He'd just go like, mate, it was mad, bro.
So yeah, you grew up around like obviously like a farm life.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think that's the best life. I hate living like a city or just like a countryside with a farm is probably the best life you can have.
Yeah, nah, it was good. Like my dad was always like proper heavy on having like fun as a child, like getting on motorbikes and all that, and like just having fun outdoors. And I feel like he pushed that as a childhood, so we all like have these sort of skills of riding bikes and quads and that. And then, yeah, he had the land from doing work in labour and that. And, yeah, we had the pigs going. Alpacas, goats, sheep, chickens. Like, I loved it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to milk
Farm life.
goats over lockdown as well.
What, so that was your daily milk?
Yeah, I used to milk goats. Me and my brother used to pin the goat's legs down. I know how to milk a goat. You just go like that.
Oh, so it's not just like squeeze them?
Nah, you grab the teats at the top and just push down, mate.
Oh, and then it comes out.
Yeah.
Nice. Good to know. Any upcoming
Good
farmers? Good skills.
Let
here.
me know. I'll give you a little lesson.
So obviously you grew up around with a good family, which
Yeah.
sometimes actually can be quite rare. Like not a lot of families stick together. And would you say that's potentially got you into the spirit that you want to start your own family soon? Or you're not really looking to settle
You know
down?
what? Like, I think as the generation's gone now, I'd love to have a family in that. But if I'm gonna raise a kid, I've got to have a wife, and it's got to be a stable family. And to get a wife in this generation, I can't lie, it's ropes. Like, there's people like me just going around just doing women in the net. But like, I don't know, I just don't think it's that possible. But I'd love to have a kid. I
Got a
would.
kid, yeah, like a little mini Haz.
Little Haz JR. I would buy him a pig. But yeah, no.
Do you ever, obviously you've got your press coming out. When does your press come out?
Hopefully my press comes out next week. So it's going to be a big day.
What, is there a day or not really? Not a day yet?
Hopefully on the Sunday next week.
Yeah,
I'm just
Sunday.
waiting for it to all pen through.
Nice.
And then it'll get through. But I know I'll get a lot of hate. Like, the older generation will be on my back.
Do you know what though? I feel like a lot of people might actually respect your path. Like, I know it's obviously army to OnlyFans, but what you got to realize is a lot of people do social media and then they go to OnlyFans. You've actually experienced a real job, and obviously real job, obviously in quotes, because obviously social media, OnlyFans is a job. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
I've learned the hard way, but yeah, definitely gonna work out.
Going into obviously with your press, if you got asked to go on to like national TV, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if you're big enough for I'm a Celeb, or I don't know, like for example, what Olivia Atwood's just done with obviously OnlyFans creators. Would you do something like that?
I would, yeah. I've been on one show so far. That was last year. I did a game show. But I reckon this year my biggest push is get on some ITV shows. I've already applied for like some survival one. And hopefully with my last job, it will be a lot easier for me to get in. Obviously, I've got a character, like good characteristics. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting to the TV scene.
What one did you apply for?
I don't know the name of it, but it's like a survival one.
Do you know what you should do? There was one on Netflix that
Bear Hunt.
Yeah, Bear Hunt.
That would be sick.
Have you seen
Bear
it?
Grylls.
Yeah, and they get dropped off in like remote places. And they all go around.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Bear
yeah.
Grylls trying to get them.
Yeah, Bear Grylls. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've
Bro,
seen
you should apply for that. I think you'd be able to get in.
You know, I'd enjoy that.
But I'll be real. I think everyone that was in there is like famous
Clueless.
as like
Big.
So episode 19 of the Shite Talking podcast, that's a wrap with Harry. A crazy story from being in the army, being a soldier, front line, now to doing OnlyFans. You're happy, which is the main thing. So yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me, and make sure you are ready for the press, hopefully dropping next week. And thank you for watching again. I appreciate it.